I've heard you say that few countries ever recover once they fall into the hands of these international bureaucracies, which require enormous sacrifices with, questionable benefits. That may be one of the reasons why countries are not rushing to the fund. Greece is a typical example. Painful austerity measures that resulted in deep recession. I heard you say that there is still no light at the end of the tunnel. Does the IMF have an understanding at this point what works and what doesn't work? Or is it still in a testing mode, so to say?
Let me say, by the way, that I speak on my own behalf, on not behalf of the fund.
Absolutely.
I need to say that. Let me tell you, I think the fund, there are good reasons and bad reasons to delay going to the fund. Among the good reasons, or respectable reasons, let's put it this way, is the one you sort of mentioned. Countries are very reluctant to give up part of their sovereignty, part of their autonomy in terms of policy making, and are reluctant to fall into the hands of international bureaucrats. Why? Among other reasons, what? Because these international bureaucrats, comfortably installed in Washington and visiting countries irregularly or on a quarterly basis, are out of touch very often with political, social, and even economic realities in the countries that rely on the fund.
But in most countries, especially countries that have been in a rather poor state, people tend to attribute those mistakes not only to ignorance or being out of touch with the reality on the ground, but also to vested interests and the poor quality of advice. How significant is that consideration?
No doubt, that's true too. That's another dimension of the issue. The international institutions, the IMF, the World Bank, their governance is very skewed, very unequal. So the North Atlantic countries are in control. And often these countries have a short-sighted view of how these institutions should act, in my opinion. So you can find powerful countries, powerful stakeholders of the IMF or the World Bank subordinating the institutions to their short-term or medium-term political agendas.